singing us. Okay, here we are. Here we are. I'm going to throw tonight's episode out to my brother-in-law, Bob, in Toronto. He's not on Facebook. He hasn't been on Facebook in a while. So I do these shows here, and then I upload them to YouTube and send him the link. So, Bob, when you're watching this, love you, man. I miss you. I think about our time in Toronto in August often because there was just something about that property. There was something about that house. It was magical. So, that being said, my name is Matthew. This is MattTv. I am MattTv. Wherever I go, I guess when I'm in front of a camera or doing a narration or whatever, when I'm clowning around like I'm doing right now, it's MattTv. So welcome, and I gotta tell you, I'm having, I feel like I'm getting into a groove. I've always liked communicating back and forth. People who have been following me here on this channel, MattTv, since March of 2017 know that this is therapy for me. This is therapy for me. It's always helped me to stay in contact with whomever, is it whoever or whomever is watching the broadcast. I spent 21 years on the West Coast, so pretty big distance to be away from everyone that I grew up with, my family. Now I'm in Halifax, only 5.5 hours away, but still finding the time to make it back home, especially with everything that's going on in the world. I know that was, what kind of a road was that? That was not a windy, twisty road. That's pretty straightforward, wasn't it? I'm a Grant, and I will veer off and go into many different directions with just staying on topic is quite difficult, proves quite difficult for me. How are you doing? I just have a few things I want to talk about. I'm going to try and keep it within the 20-minute range. That's always a goal for me. I do have, I think you can probably see the steam, yes. This is a fresh cup of coffee, but I will not be taking a drink. I don't want to do any slurping while I'm doing the show, so this coffee will still be hot when I'm done. That's how quick this is how quick this is going to happen. So I always appreciate the live views. And if you're watching this at your leisure, I appreciate that as well. A quick hello to Paul Keenan, Liz Little, celebrating birthdays today. So that was fun to send off a couple of messages to those two fine individuals. So Paul Keenan, I've known Paul for a long time. Liz Little, I've known a long time. Still good friends with both of those people. So happy birthday to you both. Okay, so let's get into this. I like to start all my shows off by talking about, and I'm hoping that my volume is okay. Actually, I'm thinking of it right now. I meant to plug in the headset and the microphone so I could have a microphone closer to me, because I think that would make this sound a little bit better. I'm in a huge room and it probably echoes. The lighting is not that great. The makeup is definitely, well, that's non-existent. But this is what you get. This is what you get. So again, thanks for the live views. Thanks for watching this at your leisure. See the level of energy that I'm on right now. That's where I want to stay. Not just tonight, but in my daily life. I like to be at this energy. So, and that'll play into the final thing that we'll talk about just within the next 15 minutes, because this will be over in 20 minutes or less. We're well into this. We're well into this program. So thanks for hanging out wherever you are. Quickly, the weather: clear skies here tonight. Wind chill down to about -17. There is a special weather statement in place. It's been in place for the majority of this week. There is an intense winter storm. It's headed towards the Maritimes. I know with almost absolute certainty that every maritime province will be affected by this storm. It'll be a little bit later in Saturday for Newfoundland, but a storm is coming. So I'm just wondering, are you ready for this storm? We are looking at snow, freezing rain, ice pellets, heavy winds, storm surge. That's more for people here on the coast. If you're on the coast, Prince Edward Island, along the coast of Newfoundland. So it's going to be messy. And tonight in Woodstock, in my hometown, it's minus 30. Currently minus 30. And that's just according to the Environment Canada forecast. So if you want to participate, you have the option, you have the choice that you can leave a comment. Just let me know what the weather is like in your world. Are you ready for this storm? Or you just, maybe you don't even believe that there's a storm coming because you saw it on the news and you don't believe. Absolutely no. You're not believing anything that's being reported on the news. So why would you believe that there's a massive, intense storm headed your way? Because, well, A, you can't see it. So how do you know? Just put your faith in the science. Put your faith in the science. This is a correction, and I did not know this. This is something that I was unaware of for 49 years, and perhaps it's because math was not my strong suit in school. But that's no excuse. I do like numbers. But on my 49th birthday, which was 2 days ago, I was quite happy at the fact that I was getting ready to begin my 49th spin around the sun. That is incorrect. Kim, a friend of mine, pointed that out, and it was confirmed with another individual that when you are born, you go around the sun, and when you return, you're one. So you've already had one rotation when you're one. So this is not my 49th spin around the sun. I'm actually beginning my 50th spin around the sun, which makes it that much more amazing. Here I am getting ready in the early process of going around the sun for the 50th time, and I'm doing it in Nova Scotia. I'm just over the moon for that. That really worked out well. I was thinking, I did this interview last night. I had this great chat last night with MattTv Jan here in Nova Scotia, and just hearing what she went through from the beginning of March 2020 when the pandemic rolled into the global community. Just hearing her story and the timeline, and thinking back to what was happening in my life. And if you saw the interview, you could do the exact same thing, because she talks about different months and what was happening in this year. So you can really, it's just an amazing, but her story was obviously a lot different than ours. We didn't come back here till this year. But fortunately for us, we didn't have a hard time securing a rental, because here we are. This was the only place we looked at. This was the only place that was on the dial. And so was Halifax. So I would say the last year, because it was 1 year ago, 2 days ago, on my 48th birthday, when we found out the property was being sold. So a lot transpired in the past 12 months. But I would have to say, in spite of everything that happened, everything that's going on, I would give the last 12 months a B+. Yeah, I'm satisfied with everything that has happened. I'm happy with where I am in this moment, but I'm always striving to do more. Always striving. Every single day that you get up, you were striving to do more than you did the day before. At least that's my philosophy. Quickly, taking a left turn, and we're heading on to the football field. There's 3 games remaining in the NFL season. 2 of those games will happen on, actually I should say 4, if you want to include the Pro Bowl, but the NFC Championship games happen this Sunday. The first game is at 4 o'clock. The Cincinnati Bengals are in Kansas City to play the Chiefs. I'm kind of torn. I'm not a betting individual. I've on record many times saying that I've never seen one regular season game. I've only seen highlights of the playoffs. but I'm a big fan of Patrick Mahomes. So I have a friend at work, one of the guys that I work with every day. He is a Cincinnati Bengals fan. So there's a part of me that would like to see Cincinnati win just to see Terry and be able to enjoy football for another couple of weeks, because they haven't won since 1988. It's been like 31 years since the Bengals have gone this far into the playoffs. They're playing Kansas City. They have a big task in front of them. It should be some great football. Later on in the day, on Sunday, 7:30, we will have the San Francisco 49ers in Los Angeles to play the Rams. I think the Rams may win that game. So I'll go on record right now and say that I would expect to see the Kansas City Chiefs and the Los Angeles Rams in the upcoming Super Bowl. I could be completely wrong. Going back to my friend Terry, who works in the same building I'm at, he would love to see a Cincinnati Bengals, San Francisco 49ers Super Bowl. And I would be okay with that as well. I would be okay with that because I'm not going to see any of those games live. I'll see everything in a replay. So, but just enjoy the football. If you're in the Maritimes, you probably won't be going out anywhere anyway, because this big snowstorm that is on its way, you may be in the midst of it. You may be at the tail end of it. You may be buried in it. So be safe. Enjoy your football on Sunday. Something that people won't be enjoying on Spotify anymore is the music of Neil Young. Yes, Neil Young, who has always been an outspoken musician, has a lot of political views. He has been on Spotify for, I don't know how long he's been on Spotify, but he was sharing that platform with a lot of other artists, including podcast host Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, Spotify, and Neil Young do not jive anymore. So within the last few hours, Neil Young basically gave Spotify an ultimatum that said it's either Joe Rogan or me. Joe Rogan, from what I understand, has a $100 million contract and millions of viewers, but he does have a $100 million contract with Spotify. So in a nutshell, the Coles notes, you can no longer find music from Neil Young on Spotify. According to many reports, they have pulled his music catalog from Spotify. Do you care? Do you care? Two more things. I'm working on a sizzle reel, which is just some quick clips of me doing this. And I would much rather have clips of me interviewing people like the chat that I had last night. So I want to do something fresh. So if you or someone you know may want to use this platform to talk about their platform, they're more than welcome to come on here, share the screen, and it will help me, it'll help them, it will help everybody. Okay, one final thing, and I just quickly want to talk about the movement that is happening right now. We all know that for days that there has been a lot of vehicles, trucks, just a mixture of vehicles, a mixture of people. Tens of thousands of people are now on their way to Ottawa, Freedom Convoy 2022. You see pictures of it all over social media. Here's what I do know. There are approximately 120,000 truckers belonging to the Canadian Allegiance Truckers Association. Of those 120,000 truck drivers, approximately 16,000 are unvaccinated. So these truck drivers would have to, well, here's the thing, the US has just implemented their policy where truck drivers entering the United States have to be double vaccinated. So we have a bunch of truck drivers, we have a bunch of individuals, patriots, fellow Canadians, passionate about what they believe in, and they are on their way to Ottawa. The other thing I do know as of this afternoon, the individual I had her name a few moments ago and it has slipped my mind. The lady from Alberta who has organized the Gofundme, they have raised 4.5, it might be closer to $5 million. Those funds have been frozen. Those were frozen by the people at Gofundme, but that's a side note. But I think what people should maybe know about this lady who is trying to unify Canadians, that she belongs to a group called the Conservative Maverick Party in Alberta, who at one time was a part of Wexit. I think this party here was a subsidiary or an offspring of Wexit when that failed, when they thought it would be a good idea for Alberta to maybe separate from Canada and join the United States. This is the same lady who has started this GoFundMe, who is trying to unify Canada. That seems very hypocritical, but that's just me. That's just me. Do your own research. Do your own research on that. But I'll leave you with this. For those that were out today supporting the Freedom Convoy 2022, I have to know, what are you honestly expecting to happen this weekend? Not what you would like to see happen down the road. What do you think will happen this weekend? Because the reality is, you're going to show up, you're all going to go to the Parliament lawn, you're all going to scream and yell into bullhorns, and then you're going to pack up your stuff and you're going to go home on Monday. Nothing else is going to change. The mandates will end when it's safe for the public. That's my 2 cents. Now, you may hear that and offer me a penny and a half back, because maybe that didn't mean anything to you. I'm just wondering, support it or not. I hope for no violence, but I'm curious, what are you seriously hoping will happen? Because I get people are actually hoping, and it's probably not a large percentage, and it's not the media twisting anything. It's these individuals posting their own stuff up on social media. I've talked about this guy before. He's probably disappeared like a fart in the wind. But talking about hoping that we have some type of January 6th insurrection that happened in the US Capitol. That talk is dangerous, it's reckless, and it's coming from someone who is really uneducated. And it makes me angry as a Canadian to hear talk like that. The same individual hopes that, not him of course, because he's a keyboard warrior in his Zoom room, hoping that someone else in a truck would drive through 16-foot walls and commit an act of terrorism, but he's just suggesting it. So don't think that there's not a bunch of unhinged individuals in this pack, in this convoy. There is. We've seen it. And every time you see the media set up their camera just to document what's going on, what do you have? You got people whipping out their cell phones, getting on their bullhorn, calling this fake news, when all they're doing is just turning on the camera. And you are the ones that are making asses of yourselves on national television. It's unbelievable, unbelievable. In a nutshell, if you want to leave your comment, again, I would love to know what you people hope, what you think. What do you think is going to happen this weekend in Ottawa? Because you're going to face a real hard reality when the new week rolls around. I think that's the most excited I've been in a show in a while. But there are so many other things that we could be driving to Ottawa for. Why don't we protest how we've been treating Indigenous people? They just found a 5th grave site in British Columbia. How many reservations across Canada have clean drinking water, sanitary conditions? Let's get our priorities straight, yeah? Let's do that. Okay. I don't know if I gained some viewers or lost some viewers, but at this point, I don't care. I'll leave you with this. We're all energy, we are all connected, but we all operate on different frequencies. And I can tell you, I'm gonna operate at this frequency. And there's a lot of people who are, you jump down this conspiracy rabbit hole and you're not even looking up for help. Like you've just kind of put your arms to your side and your feet together and you're just dropping like a stone. So I don't have time for people who are on that energy level. And when we do connect, you have to know that I am bringing myself down to your energy level. Okay? So that's not cool. And as someone who just turned 49, way more mature, I think, I just think differently. Okay? So, I don't know, something to mull over. Okay, that ended on a pretty serious note. But my coffee is still hot. Okay, listen, I promise I won't get that edgy or in your face again, but I had to say some things. And, no profanity, no vulgarity, as usual. I just hope I got my point across. I hope you understand where I stand, okay? I'm a proud Canadian. Just what I've seen, we are a country divided. We are a world divided, and it worries me. Yeah, so we can't talk about going back to the way things used to be, this back to normal. I wish we could go back to the 80s once a week. It's not gonna happen. That's not a reality. Gotta open your eyes. Okay, that's gonna do it for me. Listen, I enjoy doing this. I enjoy taking you through my morning walks in Halifax, and I will continue to do that. So thank you for the live views. If you're watching this at your leisure, I appreciate that as well. In closing, be safe this weekend. A storm is coming. Be smart, make good decisions, and let's just get through this. There's light at the end of the tunnel. Let's just get through this, yeah? Come on, let's just get through this. I apologize if the volume is low. Next time I'm in here, I'll have some earbuds in and I'll have a microphone right here. Okay, I will close by saying happy birthday to Paul Keenan, Liz Little. I miss you both. I hope you had an excellent day. This is Matthew. This is MattTv, now and always from sea to sea.